Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack the really important stuff from companies you might not even know you care about until it is too late. Today we're digging into Vaxart Incorporated's latest update, and let me tell you, it has got some twists and turns that feel like a bit of a roller coaster. So, what is the big news? Vaxart is dealing with some shakeups regarding a major project agreement number 01RRPV 2404 nanograms VX003. It sounds complex, but basically they received a stop work order for a big chunk of their work on this project. This order came from ATI, who manages funds for BARDA, a government group that backs important health research and development. This means Vaxart had to pause a lot of what they were doing on this particular agreement. This isn't entirely new though. Back in August they got a similar notice telling them to halt work. At that time they were still allowed to finish up some follow-up work for a large group of people in their COVID-19 vaccine trial, the Phase 2b study. The company had already said that more information would be coming about this. And that update has arrived. Vaxart got a follow-up. Notice that clarifies things. The main point is that BARDA through ATI intends to permanently limit the scope of this project agreement. What does that mean for Vaxart? It means the work that was stopped will officially be excluded from the project. But here's the silver lining. Even though the main project work is being cut back, the roughly 5,000 people who have already signed up for Vaxart S oral pill COVID-19 vaccine trial will still be monitored. That is really important because it means the company isn't just abandoning its efforts. They will still receive funding to continue following these participants. Vaxart remains optimistic, stating they believe the data gathered from these participants will be valuable and could really help move their COVID-19 program forward. This suggests they see a path to leverage the existing trial data, even with the project scope being reduced. Now, let's really quickly touch upon their stock. Vaxart's common stock trades under the ticker symbol VXRT and is currently quoted on the OTCQX Best Market. This filing doesn't give us any new financial statements this time around. It is more of an operational update within their usual reporting. This update falls under what is called Regulation FD disclosure. In simple terms, this is a way for companies to share important information with everyone at the same time, so no one gets an unfair advantage. It's about transparency. Now, when companies talk about the future, like their expectations for trial results or what they believe will happen, these are considered forward-looking statements. The company itself points out that these statements involve risks and uncertainties. Things like whether the trial will actually produce successful results, or if those outcomes will match what management expects, could all impact the actual future. Plus, they mention their ongoing operating losses as a risk factor. So, while they're hopeful about the data, the path forward isn't guaranteed. This announcement was signed off on the 10th of October 2025 by Stephen Lowe, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Vaxart Incorporated. So, putting it all together, what is the story here? Vaxart has had to scale back a significant project with a government partner. While this sounds like a setback, the company is trying to frame it as an opportunity to focus on data from their ongoing COVID-19 vaccine trial. They are still getting funding for participant follow-up, which is crucial. The company's leadership clearly believes this data will be good enough to move their COVID forward despite the Project-S limitations. What is my take on this? It's a mixed bag. On one hand, receiving a stop work order and a scope reduction is never ideal. It signals potential issues with the project's direction, funding, or perhaps the overall strategy that BARDA is pursuing. This means Vaxart might not be getting the full value or runway they initially expected from this specific agreement. However, the fact that they are still funded for participant follow-up and believe in the data's potential is a positive sign. It shows they have some resilience and a strategic focus on extracting value from what remains. The key challenge for Vaxart will be to convert this potentially valuable, but limited data into tangible progress or attract new partnerships and funding to continue their promising vaccine development. They need to prove that this data is indeed as strong as they believe it to be, especially given the company's history of operating losses. Alright, that is our breakdown of Vaxart's latest update. What is your take on these developments and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description for our community discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.